one or two pro trades. That's like numbers. It's what like 3%, 3.2%, something like that. Wow, that is. We haven't had food in I think like 10 runs. Wow, that is. We haven't had food in I think like 10 runs. Wow, that is.
Emote 1,730,803 emojirich.
Собака глибузелец промотиву, сумин езв над сам.
totally makes sense, yeah. I get flint and steel for sure. Early. Because otherwise there'll be sand and I'll be fucked on. I have to hope for the best. There's not much here. Maybe I go right. Is it still lukewarm? Huh? Yeah, I don't see it. I have to get out of lukewarm. Otherwise, it's gonna be nothing. Right there, but I think. I think I made the back goal. Nope. Yep. Could be both, but if it's not, it's bad because that means double bastions could be terrible. And about that, the pockets. Can't see, what was that? Right there?
In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can separate all of your different audio sources for your stream so that you can have complete independent control over your game audio, your Discord chat, your music, and your microphone without having to spend any money on something like a Go XLR or an Elgato Wave microphone. And don't worry, I'm not going to be asking you to install some super complicated software like Voicemeeter. This new solution can be done completely within OBS Studio. Just before we dive into the tutorial, I'm sure most of you are well aware by now that Twitch recently suffered a major data breach, and so if you're reusing that password elsewhere on your like every website for logging in 50% using code audio plugin for OBS Studio, which I've linked down in the description below. It is worth mentioning that this plugin is still in beta testing, but I've been using it for the past few weeks and I've had absolutely zero issues. So download either the executable for easy install or the zip folder if you want to drag and drop this manually into your plugins folder. Once installed, you should have this new option in your sources menu called Application Audio Output Capture. But before we go about adding all of our individual audio sources,
On the goal for the back end.
this is called Application Audio Output Capture. But before we go about adding, just make sure that desktop audio and desktop audio 2 are both set to disabled, and this will provide.
Yeah, I'm playing fine. It's so annoying. Like, you know what I need to do? I actually just find a spot I can look at that I can consistently do it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
prevent us getting any duplicated audio. Whilst we're in here, you might as well make sure that your mic auxiliary audio is set to the correct microphone, And then once that's all set up properly, you can click OK to close down the settings. Since we're going to be adding all of our audio sources individually, it can get quite repetitive to add them to every single scene that you have. So instead, I'd recommend setting up a nested scene to put all of our individual audio sources within. To do that, let's add a new scene and name this nice and easily. I like to do NS in square brackets for nested scene and then audio sources. Okay, so let's add our first audio source, which will be our music player. Now, it's important to note that you actually have to have the application open that you want to capture. So for me, that's Spotify, but if you use iTunes or Deezer or Amazon Music, you just need to have the application open and ideally playing some music as well. So I'll start playing some music using Spotify, and then back within OBS, within our nested scene, we want to add a new source using the new application audio output capture. And then you probably want to name this just to keep things organized. So I'm going to call this music, since we're going to be capturing and ideally playing some music as well. Our music audio source. And the only option we need to change here is the window. We want to find the right executable. For me, that's spotify.exe. And then we can leave the window match priority at match title, otherwise find window of same executable, which just means no matter what song is playing in Spotify, it's going to be capturing the audio from that application. Everything can be left at the defaults, and then we can click OK. And if we look down here at the audio mixer, we can see that we have a new meter here for our music. And if I was to then
Today I'll be teaching pretty simple. 3 seconds. Done. The next thing you need to do is this. You want to right click on your sound at the bottom right of your screen. Once you right click on it, you want to click on open sound setting. Now if you're using Windows 11, you just want to search over here for a sound setting. Once you search for sound setting, it's going to die down and you will see app volume and device preferences. Click on it. From over here, every single software which is currently running and is using your speaker is going to be shown, and Spotify is also over here. Now what we want to do is right at the side it says default. You want to click on default. Now you want to choose which output you want to use. So it's like two. The first is output, the second is input. Now we don't have to play around with input because Spotify is not like a recording software, so you don't have to either. I'm just going to change it to default.